When I first read the script, I was so excited to, read a female character that was so unapologetically silly and unhinged and delightful, and she was still going through quite a lot. She was still, navigating grief and navigating young love and navigating being an outsider. But in those struggles for her, she was quite like effervescent and really, really fun to read. And all of that dialogue is on the page. Like Lisa in particular was so specifically a woman that I would have related to at that age range.
When you first told me that Catherine was going to have this big curly red hair, I remember thinking, I'm here for it, but I have no idea how this is going to look. Yeah. And then when I saw it, I thought, this is it. Like, it is just the excess of the 80s, and so romantic, too. That color is just, like, beautiful.
It's a romantic comedy that happens to have a murderous zombie in it.
Yeah.
Because horror, I do think it still falls under an umbrella. Horror is a really wide umbrella. There's just nothing scary, really, in this movie.
I love dabbling in multiple genres, but I don't usually have a choice because I have sat down and attempted to write straight dramas or straight horror more times than I can count, and every time it winds up veering into comedy. Because I can't help myself. Like, I just see the absurdity in everything.
There's certainly a love for Tim Burton that is present, but I did lean a lot more towards Almodovar's love of color. In Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, there's so much of this beautiful bright red, and we tried to bring some of that into the film. Like the rabbit is this, what Paula and I were calling Almodovar red, and Lisa wears it a couple times, and the school has a lot of that, that I wanted to kind of pay homage to that. American Werewolf in London, the way that they would light night in the 80s was very specific. There was this kind of aquamarine blue that was so common in movies of that era, and I really wanted nighttime to have these highlights, these neon highlights that I think they fell out of favor in the late 90s and early 2000s, and they're starting to come back. And a movie I'm very, very fond of, Death Becomes Her, was one that I do think, especially both tonally and visually, was very informative for me.
Zelda created such a beautiful, bright, immersive film that you want to see it on the big screen.
You're supposed to laugh and have these funny reactions to these deaths. They're silly on purpose, they're fun on purpose, they're raucous on purpose. And so seeing that with an audience is kind of the only way you'll get that experience.